What up, people? This is Bonjo. Everybody knows I live in Croatia, right? Yes. So, living in Croatia or traveling, I usually join these groups on Facebook. They basically get you involved in the community, tell you what to do, kind of give you tips and tricks and stuff. But in this group that I am in, it's called Expats in Split. There's a few of these groups actually that are here in Croatia, and a lot of them always want to change the way Croatian laws are because it's not like home. Like, why'd you move to the country if you want it to be the same as your last country? You know what I mean? So yeah, things like that really bug me. But then you also got the really silly people that ask the same question. Do Croatia still use kunas? And then you've got people that are confused by scams and what to do and what not to do, the taxis, whatever. But we're gonna get into it. Let me share the screen here, and we're gonna look at the Facebook group. First up, we got this is headlined. So this is headlined. Croatia is a rather expensive country to holiday in. Let's see what the people have to say. Oops. See, so this group is called, what is this group called? Let's see this one. So we got this. Croatia travel, Split, Dubrovnik, Hvar, and islands. Okay, so we got this guy, right? Dario Bellotti. Dario Bellotti obviously has some sort of Italian influence in that name, but here we go. Yes, next time I will bring my bank with me. Out of 5 countries I visited, this was the most expensive. Okay, what countries were those? What other 4 countries are there? This guy asked the question. What other 4 countries are there? So he says Italy, Greece, Austria, and Germany. Okay, that's where I have a problem because Germany and Austria, to stay minimum in an apartment, it's 100 euros plus a night. Plus, in Zagreb, it's only 40, and that's the capital, right? So then you go down to Split, the more touristy destination. You can stay in a place for under 100 euros in like middle of high season. And now, we're actually, so he says Italy. So Italy, right? I remember I went to Positano last year. Positano, now it wasn't even in, when was it? It was in June. It wasn't even in August yet. So I went there. So let's take a look here on booking.com. Booking.com. Let's see what, so we got Bergamo because I'm going to Italy soon. So let's see this. We got Positano, Italy. So we'll go, and we're going to use all the same dates and everything, so it's not cheating. So we're going to go here. We're going to go August 28th to 29th. Okay, boom, perfect. Boom, Positano. 2 adults, 1 child, me, Mickey, and Enzo. Let's see what we got here. So we got 16 properties found. So we'll sort this by the lowest price first, low to high, okay? Lowest price first. Where does it show? Lowest price first, right here. So let's see what the lowest price here is for Positano. Positano, now one of the dreamy locations. I've been there, it's beautiful, not gonna lie. So we're looking at one night, look at this, 600 euros for the cheapest. 600, 620, 900, 1,000, 1,000, 1,200 for one night. And if you ever been there, you know there isn't no fancy stuff going on. 1,400. Okay, now let's do the same one. Okay, let's do the same one. We got Hvar, right? Hvar, Croatia. That's now, Hvar, Croatia is another place that is expensive. This is probably the most expensive place in Croatia. 41 properties found. Perfect. Now let's see lowest price. Here's lowest price, right, guys? Now it's still going to be high. Don't get me wrong. It's not going to be 30 euros or something crazy. It's Hvar. It's a top tourist destination. Everybody that's rich goes there. Simple. Wait a minute. Does that say 100 euros for one night? 111 euros? I thought it was more expensive, Mr. Dario. Oh, wait a minute. It's not even close to that expensive. I know. Oh my God. Can you believe that's not even that close to being that expensive? That's insane to me. So there's one already gone. Wrong. You're wrong, Dario. I don't have to prove anything else because I've been there. Yeah, sure, you might be able to get a few drinks like Aperol for cheaper, or maybe I don't even know what else for cheap. But I've been to Italy. I booked my trip. I'm going to Bergamo. I'm staying there. You can only rent rooms in Italy for one. If you want to go on the cheap, you can rent a single room. You share a bathroom. You share a kitchen, and sometimes you don't even have the private bedroom. So we booked it. It's about 50 euros a night. In Zagreb, you can book a whole apartment for $48, 48 euros a night. So there you go. It's cheaper. The big holiday, it's cheaper. So let's go back to see what else this guy has to say. Okay. Yeah, so he says Greece, Italy. So I know for sure Greece, Germany, and Austria are way expensive. So I wanted to go to Italy because Italy had a chance of being cheaper. But there you go. I just proved it wasn't right what he said. So obviously, me and him go back and forth. And then you can read all this if you want. Look at this. I'm telling you that this year Croatia was the most expensive out of all of them, which was totally unexpected. And I say, I'm telling you, it's not true at all. An average rental for an apartment is 100 euros in Milan, and that's in December. That's in December and January. So that's low season. Low season in Zagreb is 40 euros. An average hotel in Positano in August is 600. I just proved it. An average in a Hvar is a 100. 100. In the what? I just proved that. So we don't need to talk about that. So Dario, come on, get your shit together, buddy. I'm telling you, this guy just keeps making himself look like a fool. Yeah, no worries, mate. It's a pure lie. I told him you're lying. And then he continues. He shows me these articles that people wrote about their time and how expensive it was. You're going to the top tour destination. You want it to be cheap too? That's cheap, good, they don't go in the same sentence. You got that? You want a good time or do you want a cheap time? You can go to Lithuania if you want a cheap time and go run around in Lithuania. No offense to Lithuania, but I'm just saying. You can go anywhere else. You know, there's lots of other places that are cheaper. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to go to the most popular tourist destination and be like, oh, it's too expensive for me. Well, come on. And it's still pretty cheap for outsiders that make money outside of Croatia. That's cheap. For the locals, it's getting really expensive. Like for us, it gets really expensive here, especially for groceries and bills and stuff. People don't understand that part. But as a tourist, it's still cheap. Come on. Look, he's like, your bias is outstanding. Okay. And then he sends me another article that's not true, not based off his experience. Like he told me earlier, he said, this is based off my experience. You can't tell me I'm wrong. But then he continues to show me everything on the internet, articles off the internet, not his. Would you like me to do real research? Yeah, real research means go do your own experience and do real research like I just did. I went on booking.com and I showed you. I proved it. Boom, done. That's real research, my friend, not some article that some disgruntled person wrote. Come on. And I tell him he needs to go to sleep because he needs to get his stuff together. Jesus, man, you just don't get it. He's like, so I send him the pictures of the apartment, and he's like, oh, both being the cheapest in dates. Yeah. And then the same date. So there you go. You simply don't get it. I'm like, Dario, let's be friends because I'm done with him, right? And then, yeah, we keep going off. And then there's another guy. He's like, what's this guy talking about? He acts like he's the only guy that travels in Croatian, Tiho Vlajic. And he continues to tell him, like, you are a liar, da-da-da-da-da. And it's just melted. This guy's brain is melted. He thinks he is like the gospel of travel. But everybody knows staying in Spain, Italy, these places are more expensive than Croatia, Malta. I'm going to all these places. I live in Croatia, so I travel throughout Croatia too. So it's not like I don't travel. I can find 40. Makarska, I found 40 euros a night. Here you can find my apartment. You guys can come stay at my apartment during the winter for 25 euros a night. You can't do that in Italy. A whole apartment, 25 euros a night. You cannot do that in Italy. That's my point. So here we go. So you got the question statement. It's like, okay, what people don't get about this expensive stuff is times have changed. So obviously everybody's like, oh, Croatia's not the same price as last year since they joined the euro. It's been up. It's going up because the euro. No, that's not the case at all. Want to know what the case is? Inflation is worldwide issue right now. Everywhere you go, you can go to Canada, you can go to Australia, you can go any country, and the inflation is high. You want to talk about inflation? Talk to an Argentine that lives in Argentina, and you will see what real inflation is. Real inflation is not what we're going through. Real inflation is like what Venezuela, Argentina, these guys, different prices every day. Now that's inflation. So this is, you guys are traveling and want the very best on the very low price. That's the way the world works, but some people just complain about it. It's ridiculous. So let's move on from this one. This one gets me mad. This one gets me boiled because there's tons of people that defend it and they don't defend it. So here we go. Let's go back to the last one. So we'll go on to here. Can you please advise me? So here's another one that irks me, that jerks my chain right here. Travel Croatia. This is the group in Travel Croatia 2023. You can catch me in that group daily. Can you please advise me on tipping in Dalmatia? Should we tip, and how much? Is it cash only? I have not visited Croatia in more than 20 years. Has it changed? In 20 years, has it changed? No, it hasn't. In 20 years, everything stayed the exact same. Obviously not. Come on. There's just a bunch of these kind of people that always do these kind of things. So we're going to expand this before we get down there. So what about drivers and tour guides? We will have drivers and a few tour guides. Okay, I'm not reading that part. Okay, so we got this. So basically, anybody that really wants to know, these posts are daft. So Ian James Christie, legend. These posts are daft. I mean, if only ever tip if the service is good. I mean, I only tip if the service is good. Exactly, Ian. Like, tip accordingly. If he was a shit server, that's on him. In Croatia, they don't expect a tip, but if you think that they deserve a tip or you're from a tipping culture, they obviously accept tips, and tippings are much approved here. Like, they will appreciate it. They'll treat you better. I tip all the time, 20%. They don't make a lot of money. And service was absolutely great. Well, that's a good person right there. Tamara Simac. I think she's Croatian, though, so she's a little biased, I think. Because if anybody's been to Croatian bars here, the service is never great. That's a fact. You have to like, please give me my drink, please, please. Yeah, so those kind of, when that happens, they're not caught up with the Western world about tips yet, so they don't get on you when they see a drink half empty. They don't ask you, you want another one right away before it even gets empty. Like, that's in Canada, that's what we do, right? Be generous. They only have 3 to 4 months of work a year. That is true. Now, we only have 3 to 4 months work a year, but we do also have those local pubs, so don't get that twisted. And everybody does work construction in the winter. Most people, I tip up to 10% and spare change if it's a coffee. Yeah, that's reasonable. That's fair. I'd say tip 10%, but I always tip accordingly. If someone was outstanding, was very nice with the baby, we tip 20%, maybe more sometimes. But if they're absolutely trash, I won't tip anything. I will get my change right back to the very dime. That's just my opinion. That's what I do. I generally tip in cash. So there you go. A lot of people are still twisted. There's like this whole phenomenon in this world about tipping and not tipping, and it shouldn't be mandatory, all this kind of stuff, right? But I'm telling you, you should tip accordingly. That's what I gotta say. So let's move on to the next one. We already done with the tipping. Yes, you tip in Croatia. Come on, if your service is good, you tip. That's what I mean. These groups are freaking silly, man. Okay, let's see what this one's about. Croatia Travel 2023 again, this group. Those that have been here recently, should I exchange before I arrive to euros or kunas? Okay, you have the internet and you're joined a Croatia travel group, but you don't know how Google works? 15 seconds. So this guy, Martina Vujovic, released says 15 seconds. She continues. Look at this. Does Croatia use euro or kuna? That's what she put in Google. January 15 seconds. See what I mean? We're done. And there's loads and loads of these people that do this. Ask about Kuna still. It's like, oh my god, oh my god. That's how I feel. So let's move on to the next topic here. These are told you these are daft. Most of these are daft, but some of them are okay. But like these ones that I saved are daft, 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 daft. Oh, I hope I say Croatia Travel Group 2023 again. What do you know? Why do most people expect Croatia to be dead cheap? I am in Croatia now, and I find that there is a range of prices and affordable, extraordinary, too extraordinary. It has become a top destination, and prices reflect that. And although it may be too expensive for me, I don't see why Dubrovnik should be cheaper than Venice, for example. It's certainly more beautiful. That's my point. A top tourist destination, you can go to Santorini, you can go to what's that, Sardinia or whatever in Italy. You can go to anywhere, Valencia, Barcelona, Madrid. You think they're cheaper? They're way more expensive. Way more expensive. You can go to England, London, Dublin, Ireland. It looks like Hamilton. Everybody's on looks homeless and stuff there now. It's like Hamilton, Ontario, and it's more than Croatia. You can go to Hamilton, Ontario, and it's more than Croatia. So this is bogus. This is another one about prices, and everybody, I simply can't afford it. Don't even bother going. Yeah, exactly. Don't bother going if you can't afford it. Why would you go on a dream Euro vacation just to penny pinch? An average family on Euro vacation, you can go to all inclusives in the Caribbean if you want, if you can't afford it for $400. You can do that. That's what North Americans are used to. Do that. But like, if you can't afford it, don't penny pinch, man. I'm telling you. So here we're going to skip that one. We already did the price thing, but it's true. Why would Dubrovnik be cheaper than Venice, Santorini, Mykonos? All these places are equally as beautiful. Positano, you see Positano's prices? Jeez Louise, man. Croatia Travel Group 2023. In Croatia, we have several shops for groceries, and my warm advice is to avoid student ads. Shops, as their prices rise so much, it's a shame. Okay, I will say this. This one's kind of right because this is a huge problem, especially in the summertime. All the prices go up, and this really only affects us locals that live here. We notice it more. Everybody else really doesn't. But Student is one of those places that do that. They raise the price. Every store does it here in the summer, and then we get all the sales at the end. So my advice to everybody, which is probably going to do more damage than anything if everybody listened, travel to Croatia on the shoulder seasons like September, October, May, April, these kind of times. Even in December, it's really nice and it's cheaper. It is cheaper. It's way cheaper. Like I said, my apartment here in the summer is 100 euros a night. And in the winter, it's 25 euros a night. So there you go. But that's called supply and demand. That's how it works, right? But the grocery store should never change or they should give us some sort of food card where we get to have a discount as locals. But then if they give us a discount, you know how many guys would use that to promote their hotel or their apartment, and they get all the groceries for their people that are staying with them. So they'd abuse that system too. So there's really no win. This is the way it has to be, I think. And yeah, but student ads, like the best one, if you guys are coming to Croatia in the summer, I would honestly shop at Lidl. Lidl has the best price for meat and stuff. Everywhere else is mighty expensive, but it's not so expensive. Like, it's affordable still, so don't get me wrong. So let's go on to the next one. Okay, so we're in Croatia Travel Group 2023 again. What cultural experiences do you recommend to learn about the life and people of Croatia? Stay in a private accommodation where owners live at the ground floor. Chances are they have to offer you some wine, some figs, some chat with you about everything. That's what we do. We live on the ground floor and we have shots when people come to our apartment. We give them shots of homemade rakia. That's a Croatian liquor. We have beers with them if possible. I give them tips where to go, what not to do. A good taxi company. I help them out as much as possible. I give them a discount on renting the paddle boards. If not, sometimes for free. Depends on how long you're staying here, or if nobody else is renting the paddle boards. If the paddle boards aren't rented, I let them use them for free. Usually after 12. Having a relaxing time, sipping coffee, watching people passing by and chatting. No rushing, just being in the moment. That's true. Coffee culture is huge here, and everybody does it. That's huge. So this is a nice little tip thing here. Marry one. That's what my wife did, didn't she? She married one. She got right into that culture, that Croatian culture. Wow. I found the food market a great place to see locals in action. Yes, food market can be more pricey, like Trogir Square beside Diocletian Palace in Split. It's more pricey for sure, but the people there have character and they're willing to talk and tell you stories, which is always a plus. Dancing Croatian live band. Yeah, you can see all the live music. Go to the little Bankovački Spajam. It happens every 10th of each month. So September 10th, October 10th, November 10th, every 10th of each month. Bankovački Spajam, which is in Bankovac, they have a huge marker where they roast pigs, they roast lamb, and it's all in these huge spits. It's beautiful. You got to go there. So yeah, this one's kind of a helpful one. This one's not silly. This one's a good one. I enjoyed that one. And if you guys want to, you guys can join these groups and kind of indulge and look and read and see what I'm talking about. If anybody is from these groups, hit me up. You guys know where to find me. Thisisbunjo on YouTube. Now let's see what this guy did. I'm pretty sure he said. So let's see. Expats in Split, Croatia. So this guy says, pretty sure I just got scammed by a taxi. I caught back to Airbnb from downtown. He tried to charge me 60 euros for a 10-minute ride. I argued with him down to 35. I'm worried though, because he asked me, how long are you staying in Split? And not only that, he asked me, how long will I be staying in the house he dropped me off at? Should I be worried? Is this guy going to break in and rob us? And finally, I did another dumb thing. He said he emailed me a receipt, so I gave him my email. I'm not sure if anything awful will come from that. I have a good password protection, so don't mess with me. I got paranoid. I left the taxi, so I canceled my credit card, which I ended up using to pay him. He told me his taxi company was Blondie Blue. I looked them up, and they do appear on the internet as a taxi company. Before I canceled my card, a 35-euro charge did appear on my card. Blue Blondie. Oh, the one that you negotiated to. The 35 euros. Oh, yes. So they charged you what they were supposed to charge you. And I wrote the guy's license plate down. So that's good. Anyone have advice? Unfortunately, in the summer, drivers overcharge tourists. We all do because they only have 3 months to work. Remember, especially Uber drivers. Only use Uber. That's a fine tip. Always use Uber here in Croatia. No need to worry. It's a safe country. Because I am Croatian, he wanted to know if he'll be in Split so he can scam you. Okay, so this is Duje Popovic. No need to worry. Croatia is a safe country. I know because I am Croatian. He just wanted to know if you'll be in Split more so he can scam you again. He wants to be your driver. No need to be concerned. I believe this guy. So let's see what Gabriella has to say. I believe this guy is just trying to be nice and maybe a little overpriced. We asked lots of questions. Simple. Don't worry about it. He probably overcharged 50 other tourists that day and forgot you even existed. That's what Sven Speech says. Oh my God. I agree with Duye. Use Uber. Yeah, use Uber. Use Uber. Everybody use Uber. Yeah. It's like, imagine being this guy and thinking, like, I'm going to write this down in a Facebook group with my actual face. I canceled my credit card. I changed my password. I have password protection. You better not mess with me, you Croatian muggers. Like, oh my God. Jesus, man. Well, I think we're going to come to the end of this because it's a long video. There's going to be a part two because there's lots more of this stuff. Lots more. I think it's pretty entertaining. And you can, like, look at all these guys, man. Like, these guys, I've lived here nearly for a year. It is very normal for drivers to visit you. Yeah, every driver will ask you so they can get another repeat customer. And when you get that phone number from these drivers, they will always say that they're busy. So there's no need. They're too lazy to rob you. They don't care that much, man. They just want to make money, and they're always making money in their car, so they don't need to come back. They're just trying to be nice, to be like, yeah, here's my card, here's my number, and then they'll rarely show up on time after that. So no, they're not going to rob you at night. Jesus, man. But that's the end of this video. I hope you guys like watching. The Croatian travel groups are insane, and I think I think they're hilarious, but hey, that's it. This is Bonjo. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, share, and always comment. I love doing this kind of stuff. This is the best.